Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Happy Monday to everyone. I hope everyone is doing okay on this cold Monday evening. Now, I know hopefully some of you guys aren't dealing with any power issues. Hopefully, none of you guys are dealing with any, um, hopefully, none of you guys are dealing with any, power issues or any of that. So, prayers out to everybody that's going through this snowstorm. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay. All right. I know the snowstorm is crazy. It hasn't been crazy where I'm at. I can tell you that. It's just been cold and a little bit rainy. That's about it. In all seriousness, that's all it's been. Sometimes they hype these snowstorms up for no reason, man. But mine hasn't been bad. I can tell you that. Mine has not been bad at all, to be honest with you. So, but I hope everybody else has stayed safe, stayed warm, and of course has had, hope everyone had a good start to their week. Hopefully you had a good weekend as well. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys coming through, of course. Carolina Panthers, Evero to the Raiders. We'll see. Obviously, he's had 2 interviews. I'm wondering, I want to discuss this today because I wouldn't be shocked if he does end up going to the Raiders. And I'm going to tell you why. Because number one, if we go and listen to Pat McAfee's show and we listen to what Adam Schefter said on his show today, this tells me why I think he could be a Raider. And there's some other things. So let's listen into this.
But I would think that we would have all these head coaching jobs filled this week, probably sooner rather than later. I wouldn't be surprised if by Wednesday there are no openings.
So that's number one, why I feel that could be, why I feel like that could be reason. But this was back obviously on January 20th, completed their second head coach interview with Ejiro Evero. Now, here's the reason why I truly believe that he could be a Raider. The reason why I truly believe he could be a Raider, not that I'm hoping he'll be a Raider, but the reason why I truly believe that he could be an Oakland Raider is because you go look at the coaching around the league, right? You go look at the coaching around the league. Who is all in the Super Bowl right now? What type of head coaches are in the Super Bowl right now? They're defensive-minded. Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded. Mike McDonald, defensive-minded. That's all who's in there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I get it. Evero is sitting in coaching limbo right now, waiting to find out if he's still going to if his future is just going to be in Carolina or if it's going to be in Vegas. Either way, we'll see. Steelers already went another direction. The Falcons did too. So that only leaves another coaching door still open forever, which is the Vegas Raiders. That's another reason why I think he's going to be a Raider, right? He's about to find out exactly where he stands with them here soon. Why Evero is in this conversation, let's be real. Evero's in this conversation, guys, because he didn't fall into these interviews by accident. Defensive-minded head coaches are hot right now. Just, again, like I said, look at the guys that are in the Super Bowl. Mike McDonald and Mike Vrabel. They pushed their teams to the Super Bowl. That have absolutely helped Evero's stock. And after the Panthers defense made legit strides in 2025, especially after being historically bad in 2024, his name started popping up everywhere. So, again, He met with Atlanta. He spoke with Pittsburgh. And now he's had 2 in-person interviews with the Raiders last week. That is not, though, when you have 2 interviews in person, that's not a courtesy interview territory. That's a real interest. So here's the thing. We all know that Carolina's ready to bring him back. We all know that Carolina's ready to bring him back. We've already heard that, right? We've all heard that. I know some of you guys love Ejiro Evero. I know that. I know that. But again, I think here's the thing with Panthers fan base about Ejiro Evero. One side is all about him, one side isn't. It's the same thing with Bryce Young. Right? Carolina's perfectly fine if I think Ejiro Evero, you give him the talent, I think he can make it work, but I think it's got to be the talent that fits his system. And I think there's a difference that we have here, right? This organization's fine if Ejiro Evero returns. The team extended him last year, even after the disaster class the defense had in 2024, which tells you how much belief the organization has in him long term. Now, if the Raiders pass, then Evero comes back this season. No drama, no nothing. You don't have to change anything, okay? Until Vegas makes their move. Obviously, it's an anxious waiting game. But here's the thing with the Raiders. Why the Raiders might be leaning elsewhere is because this is where things get complicated for Ejiro Evero. With the Rams falling in that brutal NFC Championship loss to Seattle, hell of a game. The league is about to start rating Sean McVay's staff like vultures. Names are flying around there too. You got Mike LaFleur, you got Chris Shula, you got Nate Shieldhouse. Yes, the Raiders are looking at that group closely. Why? Because Las Vegas might want offensive-minded coach to develop their number 1 overall pick, which is everybody predicting, Fernando Mendoza. There's also reportedly planning to interview Clint Kubiak, Seattle's offensive coordinator, possibly to take for Pete Carroll. They're also interviewing Davis Webb, the Broncos pass game coordinator and quarterback coach. So, translation, ladies and gentlemen, the Raiders might be shifting towards offense. And that could quietly close the door on Evero. It could. It could quietly close the door on Evero. Let's see. Joshua says, do you think he's going to the Raiders? That's what we're talking about right now, Joshua. I want him gone, Earl says. What's good, Earl? I mean, you got to give him credit for what he did. Absolutely. I give him his flowers for what he did. Nothing against the man. I just hate the scheme. I feel you. Nobody loves EJ but EJ himself. That's probably false as well. Evero's like that father who says, we're going to Dave & Buster's, but you never go. Damn. Trizzy, what's good, man? Again, and I hear you guys in the chat. Why this is probably ends with Evero. I'm going to tell you why this probably ends up with Evero staying in Carolina. The Raiders still could hire Evero. The door isn't shut yet, but the fact that they're lining up offensive candidates and they're surveying McVay's coaching tree, they haven't made a move yet, which suggests to me that Evero is not the clear favorite. And that's not an insult. That's just the reality of what Vegas might want for their rebuild. All right. Again, this fan base is split just like it is with Bryce Young. But this organization isn't, right? Some Panthers fans, again, they want Evero back. They want to see what he can do with more talent. I'm okay with bringing him back because of continuity. I don't think, and I honestly, I might be making a bold statement right now, chat. I don't think we make the playoffs if Ejiro Evero leaves, unless they hire within. With what I'm in, and then we'll discuss more about that here in a second. But I don't think we make the playoffs next year if Ejiro Evero leaves, because I don't know who you're going to get. I don't know what defensive coordinator you're going to get out there. Now, there is someone in-house, I think, that could take over and we'd be just fine. And we'll discuss about that as long as this person stays here and Ejiro Evero rides off in the sunset himself. But there's one person. There's actually a couple candidates, but there's one person I like. McDermott, maybe, but I don't think McDermott's willing to just take a defensive coordinator job. I honestly think that McDermott might even take a year off and he's going to wait for the next coaching cycle. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Right? Now, here's another thing that this fan base is. A lot of you guys, I see you in the chat. Y'all want fresh ideas. You want a fresh new voice in there. You know, here's the thing. We don't run the damn team. Dave Canales has already made it clear he wants Evero back. They've already extended him after the worst year ever. Make it make sense. Like when Carolina gave Evero an extension after that 2024 defensive disaster, you can't tell me that didn't speak some volume. That wasn't a short leash move. That was a long-term commitment saying, yeah, man, we want you here. Add in the fact that Evero landed 3 head coaching interviews this cycle, is obvious the league respects him as well. So you have to respect him there as much as you might not like the scheme and all that. I do think it's Matt Machado. I'm going to tell you who I think it is here in a minute. Now, let's go ahead and say that this team does move on. Let's say, or not this team moves on, but let's say Evero does leave. Again, you got AC Carter, you got Todd Walsh, and then you also got Jonathan Cooley. I honestly think that Jonathan Cooley would take over if Ejiro Evero left as the defensive coordinator. I do. Because here's the thing. Evero is still a real contender in Las Vegas. The ground is shifting under his feet. But the thing is Raiders might ultimately decide they want an offensive architect for their rookie quarterback, if that happens, right? Evero's head coaching dream gets delayed another year, which honestly might not be the worst thing for us. But if Evero comes back with the defense already improving and the roster is finally stabilizing, that's a hell of a lot better than starting over again, guys. I get that you guys might not like the scheme, but you got to think about it from that standpoint. Our defense is improving. Our roster can be finally stabilized with some moves. Evero comes back, brings that whole continuity and that whole philosophy all over again that this team already knows. And that is a hell of a lot better than starting over. But you wouldn't have to start the hell over if he does decide to move on. If you go and hire Jonathan Cooley as your defensive coordinator. I mean, here's the thing, that Evero might leave. But again, if Evero gets this Raiders job, I don't think we need to be going shopping outside the building. They need to go look straight at Jonathan Cooley and say, hey, man, you want this? Because he's the guy that can keep that continuity together. He's the guy that knows this defense from in and out. All right. He knows it from the back to front to back. Okay. Cooley has quietly been climbing the ladder inside Carolina. He started out as a secondary DBs coach, then promoted to defensive pass game coordinator. Now widely respected around the league. And his resume speaks for itself, man. What Cooley has already done. He's turned J.C. Horn into a 2-time Pro Bowler. He helped unlock Mike Jack. He built one of the strongest cornerback tandems Carolina's had in years. The cornerback duo became a real weapon in 2025. You can give credit to the talent, But you got to give credit to the guy who helped unlock that talent and be consistent and be aggressive. That doesn't happen by accident, man. That's good coaching by Jonathan Cooley. What's up, D Perkins? My guy, what's good? Sierra, Sir Ace of Spades. This is the first time I've seen you in here. Appreciate you coming through. Machado coming in here talking about capers. Capers be dyeing that hair, bro. The thing is about Jonathan Cooley, if Evero leaves, I'm okay with it because, again, Cooley's resume speaks for itself. Like, he's proven he can develop talent. He's proven that he can elevate veterans. He's proven he's a coach within a complex scheme. 3 things you absolutely need from a defensive coordinator. And the Evero Cooley connection matters. It does. Here's the part that people, I think, sometimes we overlook. I really took a deep dive into this. Here's the part people, I think, overlook. And even myself, I overlooked it. Cooley and Evero go way back. Let's not forget about that. Their relationship started with the Rams. And then it rekindled in Carolina. So the chemistry is part of why this defense improved as quickly as it did. Now, Evero would probably love to bring Cooley with him if he lands a head coaching job, which is exactly why you cannot let that happen. If Evero leaves, the Panthers need to go ahead and say, Cooley, you are a defensive coordinator. We do not want you to leave. Not only because he's qualified, but because keeping him prevents the entire defense of that having to learn the whole scheme all over, a whole different scheme all over again. And you're letting a guy who's actually a very good defensive minded walk out the door. Because why promoting Cooley would be such a smart move is because if Canales promotes Cooley, continuity, again, preserved, right? The scheme stays intact. Maybe Cooley does something different, though. Maybe Cooley does something different. You know what I mean? Maybe Cooley does something different that Evero didn't do. What's up, Young KJO? I don't think Raiders want Evero. We'll see. Again, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Listen, again, I said it earlier to you guys. What type of minded head coaches are in the Super Bowl right now? What type of minded coaches lost in both of their championship games? Exactly. Offensive minded, both lost. Besides the fact in that Seattle game, Clint Kubiak is an absolute stud. Oh, I don't know why YouTube's got you like that either, Kendall. I figured that was you because I was like, that looks like Kendall's profile picture, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, shit. YouTube be doing some buggy ass shit, bruh. Terrence Tate, what's good, man? Offensive minded. Exactly. See, the offensive minded coaches lost. Both defensive minded coaches are in the Super Bowl. You know, I'm kind of curious though. Who's the offensive coordinator in New England? Because that's a guy that people might want to put on their radars maybe for next coaching cycle. Because what he's done with Drake May, I know maybe Josh McDaniels. Oh, hell, fuck no. Never mind. Forgot it was Josh McDaniels. I don't even know why I looked that up. I don't know why I even looked that up. Jesus, never mind. We've seen Josh McDaniels be a head coach. He's a good OC. I forgot McDaniels was there. Never mind. We've seen that. We've seen how that cartoon show played out. But again, Cooley's a smart move, man. Like if Evero moves on, right? Again, you promote Cooley, the continuity stays, the scheme stays intact, players' development doesn't reset, right? The defense doesn't take a step backward. And most importantly, here's another thing, chat. Carolina out of this absolute, it keeps Carolina out of this absolute circus that is the NFL defensive coordinator hiring cycle, which is currently loaded with desperate teams and inflated expectations. Instead of scrambling, Carolina could simply slide coolly into place and keep rolling. That's how stable franchises operate. I get it. I know you guys, some fans want Evero gone. I'm just going to tell you this. It's not the smartest move right now. I'm just going to tell you this. It's not the smartest move right now. The only reason why I don't think it's the smartest move is because there are still, I get that there's you guys out there don't love Evero, but the defense went from historically bad to a legitimate competitive unit in 2025. Yes, we weren't getting sacks as much as I would like. Yes, we weren't getting pressures as much as I would like. But the growth is still undeniable. That matters. That's exactly why Evero is getting interviews. Another year with Evero would be a huge win for Canales and this entire staff. But if the Raiders, pull the trigger, well, again, if Evero leaves, man, you just can't afford to think this shit. Cooley is ready. He's respected. He's proven. He's already in the building. You promote him. You keep the continuity. You avoid all this chaos. And you don't let another team walk off with your defensive leader, because we might already have the guy in-house to replace Evero if so. And that's why I think Jonathan Cooley. Again, you could say AC Carter. I'm not opposed to that either. We just need to realize that we do have another guy here before someone else does. Right? That's the thing. Yeah, I was like, Rock, I was like, no, we've seen that show before. Austin Clay, AC Carter could be a defensive coordinator for us. He could. He's got the resume to do it. I mean, AC Carter's got a great resume, man. Like, he's another guy that I wouldn't be surprised AC Carter would be my second option. AC Carter would be my second option. Hold on 1 second, chat. Trying to see something here. I'm looking something up, doing some research. All right, let's go over to AC Carter, though. Now, again, I think AC Carter would be another good one. I think he's got a great resume as well. Again, the thing is with AC Carter, he's not going to be a flashy hire either, but he'd be a smart one. He's already, the thing is with AC Carter that I do love, he's already wired for the modern NFL defenses. I mean, I think his biggest strength is that he doesn't coach defense like it's 2005, right? He's built around, speed, positional versatility, disguise coverages, multiple fronts. Most importantly, just adjustability. Like, he makes good adjustments, right? Again, Carter thrives in the same space as Evero does, mixing coverages. He likes to shift those pressure looks, forcing quarterbacks to think post-snap instead of pre-snap. So that's not just nice to have. That's required in today's NFL. Like, if you're not making quarterbacks uncomfortable mentally, you're already losing. So, I mean, he's fit. Here's the thing. He fits what we've got going on in the building already as well. Right? One of the biggest reasons Carter makes sense is because he wouldn't require Carolina to blow everything up and start over. Same way with Cooley, right? See, this roster is already built for hybrid linebackers, long corners, speed off the edge, interior disruptors. That's the thing, right? Carter's defensive philosophy leans heavily on flexible personnel, right? That means guys like, if Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, Nick Scorton, and then I guess you could say, you could throw Isaiah Simmons in there, but I guess if we're talking about linebackers, I guess you would either say Christian Roseboom or Trevin Wallace. But again, you wouldn't need to relearn the football from scratch. They just be asked to expand the skill sets, not abandon them, right? So that continuity matters more than people think. You don't want a new coordinator walking in and saying, yeah, all that stuff Evero taught you, forget it. That's how your defense collapses, right? And that's another thing I like about him is he's a good teacher. He's not just a good play caller. One thing we absolutely cannot afford is a defensive coordinator who's just good at calling plays, and then can't develop players, right? You have to have a reputation as a real teacher, right? Not just some scheme junkie. Where AC Carter, that's one thing I did like about AC too. He's known for breaking film in a way that players actually understand, tailoring roles to player strengths, developing mid-round and undrafted talent, and demanding accountability without being a hard ass for no reason, right? Not every starter that comes here is going to be a blue chip first rounder, right? We need someone who could squeeze the value out of depth guys and rotational players, right? We can't just rely on stars to carry everything, right? I think he brings an edge without being a circus. I'll be honest with you. We don't need another loud look at me personality on the sideline. Carter brings intensity without the theatrics. I've seen it from his coaching standpoint. He's respected because he's consistent. He's prepared, right? He doesn't bullshit with the players, man. He doesn't. He's just not one of those guys. Marcos, I have talked about Jay Cooley. What's up, Marcos? Hatred, what's good? I see you in here. But another thing is that, he fits Dave Canales' culture perfectly. Professional, controlled, competitive, no drama. He would actually grow with the team. This is important because Carter isn't near retirement coordinator just trying to collect one last paycheck. He's the type of coach that could grow into the role with the roster, adjust year to year as personal changes, potentially become a long-term piece instead of a short-term patch, right? See, we don't need a bridge DC. We need someone who can build something sustainable, not something that collapses a moment a few veterans leave, right? Carter gives them that runaway. Now, the risk is, again, with a guy like Carter and Cooley, both of those guys, neither one of these guys are big names. That's fine. But if Carter gets hired, this is not going to be one, or Cooley got hired, ESPN's not going to be putting that up on there. Okay. And I'm fine with that. Big name hires don't automatically mean good hires. Some of the best coordinators in the league started as, who the hell is that guy? Before they become a household name. So I think Carter would bet on, Carter would be a bet on coaching. You'd be betting on his development. You'd be betting on him building a system, right? But if Evero leaves, I wouldn't panic. I think you got two guys on here, at least AC Carter or Jonathan Cooley. They both offer different things that, AC Carter offers scheme continuity, player development, culture fit, long-term stability, right? He's again, I think AC Carter is one of those guys that keeps this defense relevant instead of rebuilding it from scratch. You know what I mean? The ESPN just bashes us anyways, right? I know. They just bash us anyways. It doesn't matter what we do. It does not matter what we do. All right, let's do a mock draft. Let's do my first mock draft of the season. Mock draft Mondays. That's something we always do here. That's going to continue throughout this off season. Let's do a mock draft. I haven't done like a full mock draft with you guys. I have not done a full mock draft yet with you guys this year. So let's just go ahead and do one. Let's just go ahead and do one. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. We got over 40 people watching. Appreciate you guys. I'm based off of all three platforms. Appreciate you guys being here. All right. I got to get my prospect sheets up. I'm working on my prospect sheets. I've gotten through 12 quarterbacks so far. I've gotten through, how many running backs have I gotten through? I've gotten through 12 running backs. I've gotten through, I think, 12 wide receivers. Gotten through, how many tight ends I've gotten through? Gotten through 12 wide receivers. I've gotten through how many offensive tackles? 12. How many guards have I gotten through? 12 centers. I've gotten through 12 as well. Defensive ends. I've gotten through 12. Defensive tackles. I've gotten through 9. I've only gotten through 9 defensive tackles. So I got to catch up on some more homework. All right. Yes, hit that like button. Appreciate that, Trizzy. Appreciate that. Hopefully we don't. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Damn. Caleb Banks is right there. You got to be shitting me. I mean, if I'm. Damn. Hold on. All right, now. All right, Caleb. Caden, TJ. See, my first instinct says TJ. Caleb Banks is a big boy, but he's good. I don't know if I'm going to take him. But then I see Spencer Fano. Try trading back, Clay. I hear you. Caden McDonald's is an absolute stud. Having him on the inside with Derek Brown would feed families. And then you got TJ Parker, man. 15.5% pass rush run rate, run defense. The one thing that I do love about, one thing I do love about me, some TJ Parker, besides the fact that he went to Clemson. One thing I do love about TJ Parker is this. He runs a 4.65 40. You turn on his tape. I think TJ Parker is a day one difference maker. You turn on his tape, it's obvious. His hand fighting is advanced. He gets all his get off is elite. He understands leverage. And he plays with a purpose. He doesn't just rush, he attacks. Parker is the type of edge rusher I think that instantly would upgrade our pass rush rotation easily. Him and Nick Squarton side by side would feed families. That's all I'm going to say. It's all I'm going to say. 15.5% is pretty damn good. Let me go look at some other. Let's go look at some other edge rushers in their rush. All right, let's look at Ruben Banks. What's his? 23.5 because he's a fucking animal. Let's see David Bailey. 21.6. What's Cassius Howe? 19.9. What's Kedricks? Kedricks is lower. Let me look at the trade backs. We got Pittsburgh at 21. We got Chicago at 25. I'm not doing another damn Chicago. Who's on the board that Pittsburgh? What does Pittsburgh need? The quarterback, wide receiver, tackle, defensive back. Mm-hmm. I don't like doing trades. Normally, I like to do my first one as a straight up. What does the Bears need? Defensive line, linebacker, safety. Mm. Mm. Hold on, let me look at my board real quick. TJ Parker. I mean, TJ Parker's my third. I think TJ Parker's the third best edge rusher in this. It's just me. Just me. I think TJ Parker's the third best edge rusher. I think Ruben Bain, David Bailey are given 1 and 2, but I got TJ Parker at 3. Who else we got here? I could try to see if I could get Cleveland to trade. 24 for 19. You give me 70. They're not interested in trading back, but we move back, but then we would move up a spot. Thinking here. I'm thinking, do I trade back? I mean, if let's see here. I don't want to go too far back. I feel like Cleveland at 24, I'm okay with. And here's the thing. What do the Bills have? 20. They would have to give me that. You would have to give me 60. I'll give him 20. If he gives me 26, I'll give him 19 and 83 for 26 and 60. That way I get 2 second-round picks. And that's very realistic. We just wouldn't have a third. Not going to push the narrative. Now, I could push it and go 156 for 126, but that sounds like crazy. No, that's too much, Clay. Yeah, I'm not going to push it. We'll do that. That's fair. Yeah, 183. We get an extra second round pick. So they have no second round pick now. They're just picking in the third. We move back 7 spots, but we got a extra second round pick. All right, we'll rock it. Whatever. I'm fine with that. All right. Now this is where it gets interesting. You gave up too much, bro. How much? I didn't give up too much. I still got 26 and a second round pick. I only gave him a third round pick to move back 7 spots. We can restart it. How about that? We'll restart it since you guys think I gave up too much. Well, really, it's just T. Thompson that thinks I gave up too much. All right, let's start this draft. All right, let's see what's available this time. All right, so kind of same thing. So we'll try to trade back this time. Who wants to trade back? I'm not trading with you guys. All right, we'll do the Buffalo Bill or we'll do the Bills again since everybody seems the Bills. I kind of like Cleveland though. Hold on. 24-19. Okay, so 119. And I get 70. All right, let's see if they'll do that. Let's just offer this. Shit, that was easy. All right. So 24 and 70, and I only had to give up one pick. And I only moved back 5 spots. There we go. We'll rock that. Fuck it. So this is where I think I gotta go CJ Allen, no chat? What y'all think? CJ Allen? I'm thinking CJ Allen. I mean, I like me some Casey Concepcion. I like me some Kenyon Sadiq, but I like CJ Allen here. Like in this position, I'm going for position of need. So if I'm anybody, I'm thinking I'm taking CJ Allen. I like CJ Allen a lot because I think he's one of those guys, especially for a linebacker that we need. Ow. I'm trying to find him in my list here. Where did I put him down at? I want to get to my notes on him. There we go. CJ Allen. 6'1", 235, runs a 4.55 40. A legit 3-down positional player, brings the athleticism, the instincts, coverage ability, reliable tackling. He doesn't come off the field. That alone makes him extremely valuable in today's NFL. I think I'm going CJ Allen here with that first pick. I mean, I could go Sadiq. I'm just not big on going to get a tight end in this first round, man. Concepcion would be nice though. Somebody who could take the top off. He's more than a gadget player as well. I think I'm going CJ Allen here. I like that at 24. But then you also got to think about this guy too. Damn. It's another thing we got to keep in mind. All right, we'll go CJ Allen. I like that. Damn, this thing's moving fast. All right, so we got 51 here. All right. So so what do we need? I know what we got, a linebacker out of that. Tight end, I'm sure one of those guys are still there. Yep. Max Keller, Jack, Justin Jolly still there as well. I'm probably going to hold out on tight end to get Tanner. To be honest with you guys, Tanner's an absolute stud. Don't sleep on Tanner Causal. This guy's a late round pick. Don't sleep on him. This is one of those guys. I'm not kidding you, chat. I was watching his film the other day, and I'm not going to lie to you. He is one of those guys that his frame and his production history, the type of tight end that he is, that's what keeps him firmly on NFL radars, because 2025 season was huge for him. You already like his size, 6'7", 240, runs a 4.76 40. His size, his catch radius, his ability to shield defenders. He's more than a project. He's more of a project than polish, but the kid's got raw tools to be legit, man. I think he could be a legit tight end. Obviously, I'm not taking him here right now. I'm just saying. So we need an edge. Let's look at edges available. We got Joshua Josephs. Not taking Joshua Joseph at 62. He's fucking stacked, though. He is. The thing is with Joshua Joseph, he is fucking stacked. I do like him. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's 6'3", 240, runs a 4.68. Brings tools you can't teach. I think he's got rare length, very explosive on his get off. Naturally, he's got natural closing speed. I mean, he plays too high at times. He loses leverage against power, but you can fix that. You've got a serious edge rusher, but leave it untouched, and he becomes a rotational depth kind of guy. Joshua Joseph is there, except for if I'm going edge rusher, it's him. I'm not taking Anthony Lucas, no. Mikhail Kamara's a stud, too. You got Danny Dennis, so we could probably get him on the back end. Derek Moore is interesting as well. Derek Moore is pretty interesting. Get him. You probably might be able to get him at 75, depending on. All right, so what tackles do we have available here? Jeez, hold on now. He's a right tackle, though. We really need a guy who can play left because of Icky. If I'm taking a tackle, I'm taking a left tackle. Someone like Icky. I like Jacob Rodriguez. I just got CJ Allen in the first. All right, so Blake Miller. My sleepers are Cole Wininski, Texas Tech, and J.C. Davis, tackle out of Illinois. All right, so okay, we got AJ. Damn, hold on now. AJ, I forgot AJ Hostley was right here. Shit. Hold on now. AJ Hostley might not be that, but AJ Hostley's not as high as I like him to be. I kind of think Michael Tafer, Kamari, like Caleb Downs is number one for me, but like Kamari Ransom or Ramsey, Dylan Thieneman, and Michael Taffy, I think are better. I do like Hossie though. He has elite zone instincts, strong ball production, great feel for spacing, but his man coverage and tackling aren't as nearly as consistent as it should be. So the question becomes, how much do you value turnovers and how much zone awareness over versatility, right? Some teams will love him. I think other teams are going to hesitate with him. That's the issue. Yeah, Emmanuel McNear Warren is a guy we cannot sleep on. Let's see if he's right there. Shit. All right, hold on. I do like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Fascinating developmental prospect for sure. His physical tools are legit. His turnover production jumps off the tape for sure. He's not refined yet. Like if he is coached properly, he would become a playmaking safety who changes games with momentum swing plays. I like him a lot as well. Lee Hunter's right there too. I do like me some Lee Hunter. I think I have to go with Emmanuel McNeil Warren though here because we definitely need that safety help. Now we've got 2 third-round picks. Now Derek Moore just went off the board. Let's look at tackle and edge. I'm wondering, I might see. Oh, Isaiah World. He's not that the best tackle. Let me look at where I have Isaiah World on my board. Isaiah World. Oh, I got him at 7. Isaiah World. I mean, now my question is, do I take what's the best available right here? Fuck. Chandler Rivers, corner. Yeah, you could go get it. We could go get a wide receiver here. Let's see. Let's look at the wide receivers that we got. Oh, yeah. Uh, damn. This is where my patience gets tested, man. Because I see Zachariah Branch, and I'm like, there's a guy right there that could take a top off of defense. That is a guy that could take the top off of defense right there. Zachariah Branch. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's got some elite speed. Good players on the board. There's a lot of good players on the board. The problem is we're sitting at 770. You got CJ Daniels as well. Yeah, Sutton wouldn't be bad. We could take Zach. That's the thing. We could take Zachariah Branch here. We could take Zachariah Branch here and then get. We could get Dennis Sutton. All right, we'll take him. Now let's look at the tackle. I want to look at the tackle again. We got Isaiah Taylor. I wouldn't be opposed to Isaiah Taylor for left tackle. Brian Parker isn't a bad either. He could play it all. There is a guy that I wouldn't not opposed to taking either later on, Jude Bowery. And let's see, I forgot. Yeah, Austin Barber is right here too. Max, I cannot pronounce his last name. And there's another guy, don't sleep on, Cage Casey. Another guy we could get for left tackle as well. Later on, he seems to be he falls like to the fifth, like to the almost the 6th round, basically. All right, so far we've got CJ Allen, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and we got Zachariah Branch. First mock draft of the offseason, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go edge here, though. We're going to go edge. So with the 83rd pick in the round 3, the Carolina Panthers select Dennis Sutton. All right. With a 119 pick, the Carolina Panthers select Carson Beck. No, I'm just kidding. Hell no. All right. So we need a tackle. but I'm not taking a tackle here. So we're going to have to hold off on tackle. So either I'm either going D-line here, tight end here. Let's see what inside we got. We got any inside guys? Okay, we got DJ Campbell here at right guard. Oh, wait. I just saw somebody. There. Absolutely. Kalen Rutledge is a stud. Oh, dang. But Pat, you are a 143 pick. The value does not match. Pat Coogan's nice, though. I kind of like, I mean, I know that's crazy at 119 taking Pat Coogan, but I mean, it's PFF, man. They're like, they don't value, they put these guys so far on a pedestal. It's ridiculous. I like Pat Coogan as if we don't know what the whole Cade Mays positioning is, which by the way, guys, if you wanted I posted up a video today of talking about the offensive line. Go check it out. Talking about the issues on the offensive line. I like Coogan here. I know that even though PFF's got him as basically 143, but again, let's say, we don't go with K Mays. You're talking about you get a guy who can play but one thing that people don't realize is Pat Coogan can play both guard spots. He's also has the NFL size, right? And he doesn't panic pressure under pressure. He really makes mental mistakes. Again, not the flashiest guy. Indiana is not really the flashiest team, but he's dependable, and a dependable interior lineman stay in this league a long damn time. I like Pat Coogan here, actually. But there's not much really to work with. Now, if we go with tight end, I mean, Joy Roy. Troy Roy's not bad. I mean, you're getting a guy who's 6'5", 250, runs a 4.65 40. He is a walking match nightmare. I know the production doesn't show. Contested catches, though, 75% is pretty damn fucking good. Back shoulder throws, red zone fade, box out catches, right? That's where he jumps off the screen at. See, the thing is with him, he creates mismatches. That's what type of tight end he is. A linebacker is going to be too slow for him, and a DB is going to be too small for him. So we could go. I'm cool with going with Joe Roy. I'm cool with Roar. I'm cool with going with Joe Roar. But let's go back to we'll go look at the linebacker position. Yeah, there ain't. I mean, are we taking? Are we really going to take Trey Moore here? No. Harold Perkins? No. Aiden Fisher? Maybe, but I would take Aiden Fisher over Perkins and Trey Moore, just as me. Again, I think if I'm picking here, based off what I'm seeing, I mean, or hey, chat, do we take a flyer on Drew Allard or do we take a flyer on K Klubnik? Tanner would be sitting right there in my next pick. But then I would go a different route. Even though I got Joe Rohrer right here. Again, he's a mismatch nightmare for defensive coordinators. But then we could take Drew Allard, guys. Take OT. There ain't nobody on here on the OT that I'm taking right now. I'm not taking Max Enanger for a right tackle position. And I'm not taking Emil Wagner. Again, I think I'm taking Joe Rohrer right here. Yeah. Ooh, wait. Nah. I'm seeing if there's anybody on D line, but there's really not. Yeah, I think I'm taking Joe. I like the fact to think about of the mismatch there. All right, now. All right, so this is what we're looking at. We got CJ, Emmanuel McNeil, Zach, Danny, Dennis Sutton, Joe Rohrer. I'm going to go here. Now, this is where I'm going to go tackle. I know Cage Casey is moving. He's like going crazy up these boards. Or they've got him way too far low, bro. They got him way too far low. I'm taking him. I'm not going to take him now. Let's see what else we got. I'm just looking. So far, so good, Clay. Yeah, so far, so good. You got to be smart with these picks, though. I mean, I'm just not going to get a good grade from PFF. I can tell you that. They might not like my draft. Oh, well, fuck them. Let me look at some defensive tackles real quick. What do I have? Where do I have my defensive tackles at? I need to go look at my rankings. D tackles. There we go. Who's available? D tackle right here. Dude got DeMont. I do got Zane Durant now. Anybody else? I'm just looking. Okay. I think I'm gonna take. I'm gonna pull a late pick here. I like DeMonte Capehart. I do. One thing about him is he's 6'5", 315 pounds. The crazy part is this son of a bitch runs a 4.75. So this guy, again, this is a high upside pick here. When you watch his tape, the same way I was watching Peter Woods' tape, except, I mean, Peter Woods is 10 times better. But this guy has a lot of upside to him. DeMonte Capehart, again, he makes you say, holy shit. But then he has these stretches where he's like, well, where the fuck did he go? Right? The problem is he has inconsistent technique, right? He's got limited playing time as well, but the developmental gaps as well. But if he can put everything together, man, he could be a real force. Right now, this is an upside pick. That is what he is. If I take him here. All right, T. Thompson, I'll look at corners with you. Good luck. Let's see what we do have available at the corner position. Devin Marshall might be the best. Damn, hold on. Shit. I forgot about Devin Marshall. The problem is I didn't see him there because he's all the way up at 170. So Devin Marshall, corner out of NC State. Let's see. 5'11", 200 pounds. From what I know is he's got exceptional ball skills, like exceptional timing. Very good at disrupting the passes at the catching point. He's got, it's kind of funny. He does, I forgot about one thing about him is he's got this nickname called Marshall Island because he thrives when left in isolated man-to-man coverage against other top corners, or not other top corners, but other receivers. Man coverage ain't the best. I'll tell you that because of his size, right? That's, he's 5'11", right? So, but I would say like his pro comparison, Mike Hilton or if he does make more of an impact, a DJ Reed. It's either him or Capehart. I'm either going to Devin Marshall or Capehart. I mean, we also got Jaden Kennedy as well, which wouldn't be a bad pick either. Obviously, you can look at him better in man coverage. He's better in man coverage, better in completion, better in run defense. I think. Let me see. Is he better in run defense? No. I think Devin Marshall's better in run defense. Yeah, but he's better in coverage. Nope, he's better in completion. So the thing is with him is it's going to be man coverage. He's going to get cooked. I do have back-to-back picks. I'm going to go with, on this one, I'm going to take Devin Marshall. We'll rock with that. And I'm going to go ahead and get my left tackle out the way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my left tackle out of the way. Where is he at? Because he's not going to be there at 199. I'm not going to get him. There he is. Cage Casey. I would not get him at 199. But he's my contingency plan. All right, so we'll take Diego Pavia. I'm just kidding. All right. So what do we got here? What do we got left? Sorry, guys. I'm backing out a little bit. What do we got left here? Zoom in. I'll zoom back in a minute. I'll zoom back in. All right. So let's look at these picks. We got CJ Allen. We got Emmanuel McNeil Warren. We got Zachariah Branch. We got Danny Dennis Sutton. We got Joe Royer, Devin Marshall, and we got Cage Casey. So we've got 2 picks left. So I got my left tackle. I added to the corner room for some depth. I got a mismatched tight end. I added Danny Dennis Sutton to the edge rushing room, which I like Danny Dennis Sutton. For a guy who's 6'5", I think he's around 265. Runs like a 4.6 40, something like that. He screams like a 5 tech in a 3-4 front, which one thing I do like about him, which fits what we're doing. Thick build, strong base, can lock out ability, gap control. Might not rack up sacks, but he makes life easier for everyone else, which Nick Squirt comes into play. So I think if look at linebacker again, Clay. I'm calling too. Probably ain't much there, brother. There ain't much there. Oh, well, wait a minute now. Hold on. See, Landon Barton coming out. I thought Landon Barton. So there's Landon Barton. Eric Gentry. Gentry's not bad. Bryce. See, these late round guys, I don't know much about. See, this is when I start first doing these things, man. Like I don't know the once I get into 6th or 7th round, I don't know much guys. I got you to about the 5th round. 6th or 7th round, I'm out. Dead ass. I'm out. Like I ain't got nothing for you. There's Justin Jefferson, man. Yeah, there ain't no line. I mean, I might take a flyer on Gentry there. What quarterbacks we got available? Did say we bring in some quarterbacks. I ain't going running back. Did I get a center? Oh, let's see if there's a center here. Jaeger Burton. Is that his name? Jaeger? I think I've heard of him. Pretty sure I've watched some of his film if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Jaeger Burton. Connor Tollison. Oh, Connor Tollison's right here. Connor ain't bad. The guy's 6'4", 285. I'm pretty sure he's around that size. 6'4", 285. Is an athletic and I think he's an athletic, pretty technically sound center, but he's got limited physically. Like he brings quick feet. He's got smart hand placement, clean angle, strong awareness at 285. He's going to struggle against the biggest NFL interior monsters. He wins with movement and position, not raw power. That's the only thing with him. You're drafting him. If you draft him, you're drafting him for finesse over brute force. That's the best way I can describe him to you. Who else we got? Hold on. I want to see if there's some more centers in here real quick. There's Bryce Foster. Another one that's not bad. Bryce Foster wouldn't be a bad. Foster's a bit an upside pick. Has some serious upside to him. Legit size, real strength, rare speed for his frame. The issue is he's just not consistent yet. If he cleans things up, he could absolutely become a starting center in the NFL. So this guy would be like a high risk, high reward ordeal. Maybe we hold out on getting him on the back end, and maybe we go linebacker again here. What edge rushers do we have available? Nothing really good. None that I know of. I'm probably taking here run defensive grades. Great. Caleb Illerms or interesting. Trying to see, do I even have him on my board yet? No, I don't. Dante Lawson. No, I'm just seeing if I have any of these guys on my board left. I don't think I do. Which I like Gentry though. Run defensive grade, but his pass rush and his coverage grade is better than Caleb Irams or coverage is about the same. Pass rushing grade's not as good, but missed tackle rate's better. Okay, so he's at 372. Where was my center at? Maybe I'll go back and get him just so we balance this out real quick. 262. All right, so we're going to take him, and then I'll get the linebacker here. We'll take Mr. Orr here. Started with a linebacker, ended with one. Let's see what they gave us. I have a feeling they're going to give us a shitty grade. I don't care. B-. I mean, the trade's good. You trade back. You got an extra third-round pick. I mean, that's the only thing with PFF I can't stand is they take your draft and just botch the shit out of it. I mean, I don't know how you can get mad at that draft. You know, I don't get how you can be mad at that draft. I don't. What's up, Dom34? You know what I mean? Like, how can you be mad at that draft? I mean, you're getting a starting caliber linebacker that you definitely need. We all know that. We all know that we need that. I think this is a good draft. I don't know. I mean, again, you get CJ Allen, who fixed exactly what Evero. If we're looking at this, right? Oh, we're still looking at it. Okay, good. You're still here. You get all right. First off, we make a trade. You move from 19 to 24. You pick an extra third up, so that's smart, right? All right. So we're adding some volume with that. Okay. CJ Allen is a very Panthers pick here, in my opinion, because CJ Allen actually fits what Evero likes. Fast, physical, smart, can play in space. Real green dot potential there, right? All right. You get Emmanuel McNeil Warren at safety. Okay. We need a safety help badly, especially someone who can cover ground on the back end. Okay. I get getting Emmanuel McNeil Warren there at 51 is a risky value, right? I know that he's played at Toledo, a small school, but his athletic and range, I think, fits what we need, especially with the coverage he brings. Zachariah Branch, I think this is a sneaky solid pick at third. Why? Because Branch gives you slot versatility, yak ability, speed element. You put him behind McMillan, Coker, Leggett, because I know Leggett's still going to be here. Then you got Jimmy Horn Jr. You've got some guys that you really can work with Zachariah Branch. But Zachariah Branch has elite speed, and he's a guy that can take a top off of defense. All right. Danny Dennis, I actually think that is one of my best picks. Why? Because of the power, the length, the rotational upside, the legit development potential, opposite of Scorton and Amamielin. You keep stacking young edge rushers and let that competition sort itself out. That's how exactly you fix this long-term pass rush problem we've been dealing with. Again, Joe Rohr. Like I said, man, Rohr is a freak athlete. He is. He catches everything. He understands leverage. He can work the seams. He's a matchup nightmare. Linebackers can't keep up with him. Corners, they can't cover him. The reason why they can't cover him is he's too damn tall. Right? Devin Marshall 4.5. I mean, here's the thing. We need some corner depth. Right? We need some corner depth. Again, I don't know, man. They're gonna give me some shit for it, but whatever it is. Cage Casey. I don't think that was a reach either. Again, you needed someone to step in for a short term. Who knows? He may take over the job. Okay, great. If he does, you move Icky to the left guard position. You move him inside. You keep the depth rolling, whatever. Right? But you got elite traits out of Cage Casey. Right? Devin Foster. Bryce Foster. I told y'all earlier about Bryce Foster. Length, size, real strength, rare speed for his frame, right? The only issue, again, is he's just not consistent yet. But he cleans things up. He absolutely becomes a starting center in the NFL. And then, of course, you got Caleb Earlams, or at the end, seems like it was actually a great 7th-round pick, right? High effort, productive, fit special teams immediately, you know. But I think if I was to double dip at linebacker, right, if I'm going to double dip at linebacker in these drafts, I probably should do it earlier. But I like this draft, so. I like this draft, so. All right, chat. Well, I'm logging off. I appreciate you guys. Of course, make sure you tune in to the pre-records because we're going to be doing more of those. All right, pre-recorded videos. All right, you go to the video section, go check it out. I'm going to post this on X, by the way. So we'll see what the X says. We'll see what X says. But anyways, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button. All right, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out any new content. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have more content coming out to you guys. Appreciate you as always. Y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.